With their luxurious puffball coats, foxy faces, and vivacious personalities, Pomeranians have captivated the hearts of dog lovers worldwide. They are living, breathing bundles of joy, often perceived as little more than animated fluff, perfectly content to be carried in a handbag or perched on a lap. This perception, however, masks a reality filled with unique and often unspoken struggles. Behind the enchanting facade lies a complex creature with the spirit of a much larger ancestor, crammed into a tiny, delicate body. Their physical structure, genetic predispositions, and the very way humans perceive and interact with them create a host of challenges. From chronic health issues and grooming nightmares to profound psychological distress, the life of a Pomeranian is often far more complicated than their cheerful demeanor suggests. This exploration aims to pull back the curtain on their picture-perfect image and foster a deeper understanding and empathy for these remarkable yet vulnerable companions. Beneath their voluminous double coat lies a skeleton of remarkable delicacy. The Pomeranian's fine bone structure makes them acutely susceptible to physical injury. A seemingly innocuous leap from a sofa, a rough tumble with a larger pet, or even being accidentally stepped on can result in devastating consequences, like bone fractures or sprains. This inherent fragility is a constant source of worry for conscientious owners. Furthermore, they are genetically prone to orthopedic conditions, such as luxating patellas, where the kneecap dislocates from its normal position, causing pain, lameness, and eventual arthritis. Another serious condition, Legg-Calvé-Perthes disease, involves the spontaneous degeneration of the head of the femur, requiring complex surgery to alleviate chronic pain. Owners must be hyper-vigilant, creating a safe environment by providing ramps to furniture and discouraging high-impact activities. This constant need for protection underscores the profound physical vulnerability that defines their daily existence. The Pomeranian's magnificent coat is its crowning glory, but it is also a significant burden. This dense double coat consists of a soft, fluffy undercoat for insulation and longer, coarser guard hairs that form the protective outer layer. This complex arrangement is not merely for show. It is a sophisticated system for thermal regulation, protecting the dog from both cold and heat. The dilemma arises from the intense grooming it demands. Neglect leads quickly to painful matting, which can cause skin infections and immense discomfort. Conversely, a common and misguided grooming practice is to shave the coat down for summer. This can permanently damage the follicles, preventing the guard hairs from growing back properly and leading to a condition known as post-clipping alopecia. Without its protective outer coat, the Pomeranian is vulnerable to sunburn, and its ability to regulate body temperature is severely compromised, making this seemingly simple solution a dangerous one. While often dismissed as a yappy nuisance, the Pomeranian's propensity for barking is a deeply ingrained trait rooted in its ancestry. As descendants of larger Spitz-type sled and herding dogs from the Arctic, they were bred to be alert watchdogs, using their sharp, high-pitched bark to signal the approach of strangers or predators. In a modern domestic environment, this innate alertness remains. They are highly attuned to their surroundings, and every rustle of leaves, passing car, or distant doorbell can trigger their vocal alarm system. This isn't born of malice, but of instinct and a desire to communicate. However, without proper training, redirection, and mental stimulation to alleviate boredom, this barking can become excessive and compulsive. It is a misunderstood form of communication, often reflecting anxiety, excitement, or a lack of engagement, a cry for attention from a highly intelligent mind that needs a job to do. Perhaps one of the most profound and damaging struggles for the Pomeranian is the risk of being treated as a living fashion accessory rather than a sentient being. Their diminutive size and stunning appearance make them incredibly appealing, but this can lead to a dangerous objectification. When a dog is seen primarily as an ornament to be carried in a designer bag or dressed in elaborate outfits for social media photos, its fundamental canine needs are often overlooked. This mindset leads to a lack of proper training, as misbehavior is seen as cute in a small package. It results in insufficient exercise, as owners assume their little legs don't need to walk far. Most critically, it denies them the chance to simply be a dog, to sniff, to explore, to interact with their environment, and to engage in species-appropriate behaviors. This reductionist view strips them of their dignity and can lead to a host of behavioral problems stemming from frustration and neglect. The small, foxy face of the Pomeranian hides a significant and painful struggle, a predisposition for severe dental disease. Their tiny mouths are often not large enough to comfortably accommodate all 42 of their teeth, leading to significant overcrowding. This creates a perfect environment for food particles and bacteria to become trapped, rapidly leading to plaque and tartar buildup. Consequently, Pomeranians are extremely prone to periodontal disease, an inflammation and infection of the gums that can result in foul breath, bleeding, severe pain, and eventual tooth loss at a surprisingly young age. The problem is more than just cosmetic. The chronic infection can allow bacteria to enter the bloodstream, potentially leading to serious systemic health issues affecting the heart, kidneys, and liver. Preventing this dental dystopia requires diligent, lifelong care from owners, including daily brushing and regular, expensive professional cleanings under anesthesia, a commitment many prospective owners are unprepared for. It is crucial to remember that the Pomeranian is a miniaturized version of much larger, robust German Spitz working dogs. They have not forgotten their heritage, and inside every 3 to 7 pound Pom resides the bold, confident, and often confrontational spirit of a much larger canine. This big dog syndrome is not aggression for its own sake, but a manifestation of self-perception. They genuinely do not seem to comprehend their own small size. This bravery can be both endearing and incredibly dangerous. A Pomeranian will often not hesitate to challenge a much larger dog, posturing and barking in a way that could provoke a devastating and potentially fatal response. Their courage far outweighs their physical capabilities, placing them in perilous situations. Owners must understand this psychological makeup, providing firm, consistent training and socialization to manage their feisty nature and protect them from their own fearless audacity. For a Pomeranian, the human world is a land of giants, filled with looming obstacles and hidden dangers. Everyday life presents a series of physical challenges that larger dogs never face. A simple chair can be an insurmountable cliff, a flight of stairs a daunting mountain range, and a closing door a life-threatening hazard. Their low stature means they are constantly underfoot, at high risk of being stepped on, tripped over, or crushed by a reclining chair. The world from their perspective can be intimidating. The thundering footsteps of humans, the roar of a vacuum cleaner at eye level, and the outstretched hands of strangers reaching down from above can be terrifying. This constant navigation of a world not built to their scale requires a heightened state of awareness and can contribute to anxiety. It necessitates a profoundly vigilant owner who can anticipate these daily perils and create a safe, accessible space for their tiny companion to live in confidently. Bred for centuries to be cherished companions, Pomeranians form exceptionally strong, deep bonds with their human families. While this devotion is one of their most endearing qualities, it also makes them highly susceptible to developing severe separation anxiety. Their entire world revolves around their chosen person, and when left alone, they can experience genuine panic and emotional distress. This is not simply a case of bad behavior, it is a clinical anxiety disorder. A Pomeranian suffering from separation anxiety may engage in destructive chewing, frantic scratching at doors, or, most commonly, relentless, high-pitched barking and howling that can disturb neighbors and lead to landlord disputes. The emotional toll on the dog is immense, living in a state of fear and stress whenever their owner is absent. Managing this condition requires patience, counter-conditioning, and sometimes veterinary intervention, representing a significant emotional commitment for the owner. The journey to a fully house-trained Pomeranian can be a long and frustrating one, posing a significant hurdle for many owners. Several factors contribute to this challenge. Firstly, their tiny bladders simply cannot hold urine for as long as those of larger breeds, necessitating more frequent trips outside, including during the night in their puppy stages. Secondly, their small size means their accidents are also small and can easily go unnoticed on a rug or in a hidden corner, preventing the owner from correcting the behavior in the moment. This lack of immediate feedback makes it difficult for the puppy to learn the correct potty protocol. Furthermore, some owners inadvertently sabotage the process by relying too heavily on indoor puppy pads, which can confuse the dog about where it is acceptable to eliminate. Successful house training requires unwavering consistency, a strict schedule, and positive reinforcement from an owner who understands the breed's physical limitations. A critical but often neglected aspect of a Pomeranian's well-being is proper socialization. Due to their fragility and small size, owners often become overprotective, instinctively scooping them up at the first sign of another dog or stranger. While well-intentioned, this behavior is profoundly detrimental. By constantly carrying them, owners deny them the opportunity to learn crucial canine social skills and navigate the world on their own four paws. This lack of controlled, positive exposure during their formative puppy months can lead to a dog that is fearful, reactive, and anxious. They may develop fear-based aggression towards other dogs, bark incessantly at strangers, or become terrified of new environments. Proper socialization involves introducing them safely to a wide variety of sights, sounds, people, and well-behaved dogs, allowing them to build confidence and learn to be a well-adjusted member of both the human and canine world. Black skin disease, also known as alopecia X, is a mysterious and frustrating condition that disproportionately affects Pomeranians. The X in its name signifies that the exact cause is unknown, though it is believed to be linked to hormonal imbalances affecting the hair growth cycle. The disease typically presents as symmetrical hair loss, often starting on the hind legs and tail and spreading up the trunk, leaving the head and front legs unaffected. The exposed skin often darkens or turns black, hence the name. While it is primarily a cosmetic issue and does not usually cause itching or pain for the dog, it can be deeply distressing for owners who must watch their pet's beautiful coat disappear. There is no single effective cure, and treatments can be hit or miss, ranging from dietary changes and melatonin supplements to specific medications. This unpredictable condition represents a significant genetic struggle for the breed and an emotional burden for their dedicated owners. Small dog syndrome is not a recognized medical condition, but a well-documented collection of undesirable behaviors often exhibited by small breeds, including Pomeranians. It encompasses actions like growling at larger dogs, snapping at people, refusing to obey commands, and general bossiness. This syndrome is not a fault of the dog, but is almost always inadvertently created and reinforced by human owners. Because the behaviors seem less threatening or even cute in a tiny dog, owners often fail to correct them in the same way they would with a larger breed. A growling German Shepherd is seen as dangerous, while a growling Pomeranian is often laughed at. This inconsistency allows the small dog to believe it is the pack leader. These behaviors often stem from underlying fear and a lack of clear boundaries, and allowing them to persist does a great disservice to the dog, creating a poorly behaved and often anxious companion. For a Pomeranian, a matted coat is not a cosmetic inconvenience. It is a source of constant and severe pain. Mats form when the soft undercoat sheds but becomes tangled in the outer guard hairs instead of falling out. If not brushed out regularly, these tangles tighten, pulling relentlessly on the dog's sensitive skin. This constant tension can cause bruising, skin irritation, and painful hot spots, acute moist dermatitis. Severe matting can restrict the dog's movement, making it painful to walk or even lie down. The mats can hide parasites like fleas and ticks and trap moisture against the skin, creating a perfect breeding ground for fungal and bacterial infections. In extreme cases, mats can grow so tight around a limb that they cut off circulation, leading to serious tissue damage. Preventing this silent torture requires a diligent, daily grooming commitment from the owner, as matting is a serious animal welfare issue. Beyond their fragile bones, the Pomeranians' diminutive size makes them vulnerable in a multitude of other ways. They are tragically susceptible to predation. In areas with wildlife, a Pom left unattended in a yard can be seen as prey by hawks, owls, or coyotes. Even encounters with other domestic animals can be perilous. A playful swat from a cat can cause serious eye injury, and what might be a minor scuffle for larger dogs can be a fatal attack for a Pomeranian. Their small size also makes them highly susceptible to poisoning from ingesting even small amounts of toxic substances, from household cleaners to common foods like grapes or chocolate. They are also at risk in their own homes from falls, being crushed by furniture, or getting trapped in small spaces. This pervasive physical vulnerability demands a level of constant supervision and environmental management that is far more intensive than that required for a more robust breed. The Pomeranian's luxurious double coat is a marvel of natural engineering, but it creates a distinct sensitivity to extreme temperatures. While the dense undercoat provides excellent insulation against the cold, their small body mass means they can lose heat very quickly, making them susceptible to hypothermia in frigid weather. They often require a sweater or coat for protection during winter walks. Conversely, that same thick coat can become a heavy liability in hot and humid climates. They can overheat easily, putting them at high risk for heat stroke, which can be life-threatening. Owners must be vigilant about providing shade, fresh water, and avoiding strenuous exercise during the hottest parts of the day. It is a delicate balancing act. Their coat is essential for protection, but their small size and dense fur make them less adaptable to temperature extremes than many other breeds, requiring careful management from their human caregivers. The perception of the Pomeranian as a simple lapdog does a great disservice to its keen intelligence. As descendants of working Spitz dogs, they possess sharp minds that crave engagement and purpose. When they are not provided with adequate mental stimulation, they can experience profound boredom and frustration. This pent-up mental energy often manifests in undesirable behaviors, such as destructive chewing, incessant barking, or spinning in circles. A Pomeranian needs more than just a daily walk. They thrive on activities that challenge their brains, such as puzzle toys, obedience training, learning new tricks, or participating in dog sports like agility or nosework. Depriving them of these outlets is a form of passive neglect, leading to an unhappy and unfulfilled companion. Recognizing and meeting their need for mental enrichment is just as important as meeting their physical needs. Owning a Pomeranian, while rewarding, can come with a significant and often unexpected financial and emotional toll. The financial commitment extends far beyond the initial purchase price. Regular professional grooming is not a luxury, but a necessity to prevent painful matting, and it is a recurring expense. Their propensity for health issues, such as collapsed tracheas requiring lifelong management, luxating patellas needing costly surgery, and extensive dental work under anesthesia, can lead to thousands of dollars in veterinary bills. Emotionally, the constant worry over their fragility can be draining. Dealing with chronic conditions, managing behavioral issues like separation anxiety, and the stress of a potential medical emergency can weigh heavily on an owner. The commitment is profound, requiring a readiness to invest not just love and time, but also substantial financial resources and emotional resilience to ensure the dog has the best possible quality of life. Beyond the more commonly known struggles, the Pomeranian breed is predisposed to a number of serious genetic health issues that potential owners must be aware of. One of the most significant is collapsing trachea, a condition where the cartilage rings of the windpipe weaken and flatten, causing a characteristic goose honk cough, breathing difficulty, and exercise intolerance. This is why it is imperative they are always walked on a harness, never a collar. They are also prone to certain heart conditions, such as patent ductus arteriosus, PDA, which requires surgical correction. Eye problems, including cataracts and tear duct issues, are also prevalent. These inherited conditions underscore the importance of responsible breeding practices and highlight the potential for a lifetime of medical management. For the dog, these issues can mean a life of discomfort and limitation, a silent struggle dictated by their very DNA. The Pomeranian is a breed of charming contradictions, a big dog spirit in a toy's body, a robust coat on a fragile frame, and an intelligent mind often mistaken for a simple accessory. Their unspoken struggles are not meant to deter, but to enlighten. They are a plea for a deeper level of understanding that moves beyond their surface-level beauty. Before welcoming a Pomeranian into your life, it is essential to look past the fluff and see the complex needs within. These dogs deserve more than to be adored for their appearance. They deserve to be respected for their heritage, protected from their vulnerabilities, and engaged in a way that honors their intelligence. They require a commitment of time, finance, training, and boundless patience. By acknowledging their struggles, we can become better guardians, ensuring that these vibrant, loyal, and fearless little lions not only survive but truly thrive, living the full, happy, and understood lives they so richly deserve.